right where I want you. ones. Once they burst out of their eggs, they ate me screaming. I don't understand. Why did this happen? Why wasn't the Divine here to save me? Too little, too late. I'm already dead. And Rivellon's been on its own for too long now. They ate me alive. I don't understand. Why did this happen? What the? Please, no!
The spirit's hands are clamped firmly over her ears. Her mouth is firmly closed, and her eyes are squeezed shut. As you reach out, you hear a dry, crackling voice.
Kill the dwarves! They are not your friends! They are not your allies! They must die! They must all die! And when the eggs hatch, when beautiful life bursts forth, give yourself to it! Lay down your head and rest! Your duty will be done. Let them come. Do not fight it. Let them bite you. Let them feed.
You pull away with a jerk, gasping for breath. The dwarf whimpers a little in front of you.
Never thought I'd be relieved to die like that. If you hadn't come along, I would have been eaten by them damn hatchlings we were guarding. I wish I could tell you, but my brain ain't quite straight. It's still full of Mordus's fog. All I know is I were to guard those eggs with my life. And once they cracked open, I was to lay down my weapon and let them eat me. You spared me from that at least. Thank you. Be damned if I know. We had him locked up tight in the hole beneath his office, waiting for Lohar's go-ahead before we threw him off the cliff. Then, the next thing you know, I hear this voice. His voice, telling me to kill. And my hand went for my dagger. Be damned if I know. Then, the next...
You run through the caves as fast as you dare in the gloom. The outraged screech of the Voidwoken is not far behind. You run straight into something, almost bouncing off of it. A gate. A locked gate. You frantically try to climb over it, but it's too high. Claws envelop you and drag you into the darkness.
I've spotted something.
You shut your eyes and try to block out the sensation of giant mandibles nuzzling your flesh. You hear it click-clack away. You daren't move, not after you saw what happened to the last one who tried to run. What do these things want?
Maybe? No. Maybe? Oh, what's this? Positive I read about this in last month's avant-garde album. Even if the runes were glowing right, I still haven't sorted out the diagnostics. Perhaps if I modify the essential substrate with the... Oh, never mind, that won't work.
The dwarven woman hums to herself as she works with total focus and concentration. Her ears twitch as you approach, but she does not turn to you.
Yes.
She turns to peer up at you, surprise and mistrust evident in her intelligent face.
And what business is it of yours, outsider?
She twitches, worry creasing her forehead as she begins to stammer an answer to you.
I'm trying to fix up this delivery device. Same little beauty the Order used to wipe out the Black Ring with the side order of elves in the last war. But I've reached the end of my tinkering abilities. Not my fault, but only the original creator could fix it now, and she'll be along any day now. It delivers death fog, of course. This is a slightly modified version of what the Order used during the war. A lizard named a Hanig. Crazy smart, crazy all round really. She should get here from Paradise Downs any day now. Queen Justinia's orders, of course. Can't really say any more than that to you. me to work in peace. Even if our runes were glowing right, I still haven't sorted out the diagnostics.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Perhaps I can modify the essential substrate with them. Oh, never mind that one.
The payload of the Peacemaker is here. I can feel its power.
I'm positive I read about this in last month's Avant-Garde Alchemist. Even if our runes were glowing right,
The spirit stares at you, through you. When she opens her mouth to speak, her voice seems to drift to you from far away, as if half dreamed.
We keep the shipments here. That's what's meant for ships. It ends up in our carts, trundling away. Arks! The barrels are rolling all the way to Arks. And when they get there, the air will turn to screams. Dying, choking screams. It wafts on the wind. The black ring choked. Arks will choke. They will all choke. Mordus?
A dreamy smile spreads across her face.
You don't look for Mordus.
She comes back to herself for the first time and looks you in the eye.
Mordus looks for you.
The spirit floats before you.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You needing supplies? I'd stock up. Anything more?
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
How are you holding up?
Until later, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. What are you buying
If I don't come visit your tongue, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
There's not a call for the junk you say, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients.
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by seekers. Culprits still at large.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
So, you heard any news?
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Hear ye! Queen Justinian institutes 2 dozen
Yes, of course.
subordination.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Until later, then.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree? You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from the cell floor.
Never forget it.
Ah.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it. Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, Ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I'm all right. As long as it doesn't do too much. You're safe around friends.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
This Magister didn't die by a sword anyway. Something's afoot here. Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
Besides, what's the alternative?
Two paladins are arguing in front of the door to the modest farmstead. They notice your arrival. They stop talking and look at you quizzically.
We're guarding this house. Wise to stay well back. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did. They didn't kill anybody. The Magisters who control them did. You know Donna, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Not until they turned her. But they did turn her. And now she's not Donna anymore. Get it through your head. The poor creature should be put down. No, wait! Surely, maybe someday they can be fixed. When all this source nonsense is over.
The other paladin rolls his eyes and shakes his head as he turns to face you.
In any event, it's our business, not yours. You just stay well away from the door and you'll be perfectly safe. You can't do that. They were people who were loved. It's not right to butcher them like cattle. You're right. Here, take the key. We'll leave you to it. I don't want to see Donna like that again. You'll remember her as she was, Jad. The real her.
Paladin William nods his thanks to you, and with a last sorrow-filled glance at the house, Paladin Jad turns to follow his companion away.
But, fine.
The lumpen silent monk stands like a pillar of decaying flesh. So still it seems he is not even breathing. All of a sudden, like a bellows, he exhales a fetid gust right into your face. The stench of rot shrouds you, coating you in a way you fear will never truly be washed away. He looks through your eyes with seeming disinterest as the life ebbs from his body, drop by drop, until he is gone and the flesh that housed him slumps to the ground. Emaciated of body and spirit, this silent monk stands straighter than the others, the remnants of military bearing clear in her posture. This must be Donna, the one spoken of by the paladins guarding the door. She gives no indication at all that she has heard you, save for a single tear dripping from one eye. Her tears flow along with her blood, yet, even in the moment of death, she does not break her silence. This dwarven monk hangs his head, as if looking down at his feet. A wretched gurgling noise issues from him. He does not resist in the least, merely slumps to the ground with one final gurgle. The silent monk looks like she was only recently converted. Her face was clearly beautiful once, and the eyes looking at you are not yet the full Fuligin black of other silent monks you have seen. One of her hands trembles. Twitching, it reaches out to you. Her hand is cold and smooth, like that of a porcelain doll. Jerkily, as if unused to movement, she strokes your hand gently and looks into your eyes. Her lips part and her mouth moves. Did she whisper, "Save me"? Or, "Slay me"? Or did you only hear what you wanted to hear in the whispers of the wind? Her eyes squeeze shut and her whole body trembles, but she puts up no resistance as you kill her.
They still live. If you cannot see them slain, then I will. Then do it.
Gareth is a tempest. He yanks open dresser drawers, then slams them shut. He opens books, then violently tosses them to the floor.
Don't just stand there, look! Those atrocities don't act on their own. You know this as well as anyone. Someone had to give the order, and they'll have left some sign, some clue telling us who they are. They always do. The Whites are so proud of their cruelty, so satisfied with themselves.
Gareth grunts and returns to his frenzied search.
There will be justice.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Tell me you found something.
A spillage all over the floor.
I will find them. They will have their just reward.
spirit watches Gareth in sadness as he rummages through the house.
I hate seeing him this way. I wish I could reach out to him. Tell him how proud we've always been. Tell him to be at peace. Nothing we didn't see coming. We always knew Gareth was fated for greatness. As a boy, he'd leap through the fields with wooden sword in hand, slaying imaginary demons, protecting us from whatever evil he would dream up. We also knew that good men make enemies. We knew evil would come, and so it did. Not as a demon or as a witch, but as a man Gareth once knew as a friend. Jonathan. He watched eagerly as those shambling husks descended. It seemed like a game to him, like theatre. We would never blame Gareth. The righteous always pay a price. May the Seven will it, he will always be the hero we know him to be. We always want to believe in each other. It's what separates us from the void. It's what makes our existence worthwhile. It's what we do next that defines us. We can respond with treachery, or we can rise above. I trust that you will. Gareth did his duty. We felt it was only right that we did ours. The farm was always a safe space for sorcerers needing refuge. They deserved a haven, and so we gave them one. Our guests were usually frightened, shy, grateful. They never used their sauce, so the Voidwoken never came. The last one, though, she wasn't like the others. A lizard named Hanag. We housed her and fed her. Robes like a wizard's, voice like a queen's. Voidwoken appeared before long, and paladins after that. She clearly drew the Magister's attentions. Our fates were written. I never thought she meant to do us wrong. I don't blame her for fleeing to the Cloister Wood. I worry for her. Show Gareth the way. Help him be the hero he's meant to be.
Tell me you found something. What? This is what trust has brought me. Not peace, not friendship, not the Seven's graces, just death.
Gareth takes quick, tiny paces, back and forth, back and forth. Then he smiles. A thin, frightening smile.
We both know what comes next. You'll see Jonathan dead, and you'll bring me proof. The Seekers.
Gareth holds his hands up to his face. Dirt clings to the underside of his nails. Grooves on his palms remain from his agitated digging. The self-inflicted wound on his finger is encrusted with blood.
I've dishonored Lucian's name, and for what? I cannot will my parents back to life. I cannot undo what was already done. Lucian, forgive me. And please, Godwoken, please forgive me too. I'll see you on the Lady Vengeance.
The shaggy dog keeps his distance, wary eyes sizing you up as his hackles rise.
You run away. Everyone here run away. All run from something. I knew. All runaways round here. I ran away from bad man. Very bad man. Man wanted to make me spider food. I know. I can sniff. Good and bad. Riker bad. Bad man. So bad. I liked his house. Big garden of stones. Lots and lots of bones to dig. Good, tasty bones. But when I sniffed him, how he is for true, I ran and ran and ran.
He paws a few tentative steps closer and sniffs all around you, nose wrinkling with concentration.
Smell not like dog, like wolf. But not bad like Riker. Good wolf.
He bounds forwards and licks your face effusively. His breath stinks of graveyard clay and ancient bones. Immediately, you feel an allergic reaction developing on your cheek, hot red blotches spreading in an angry rash. The dog scurries away to sniff about the area, leaving you with his approval and an itchy face.
Voidwoken! The sorcerer's conjured Voidwoken! Form up! Don't let them over the bridge!
The spectral magister raises his sword and shield against an unseen Voidwoken foe.
Everything... What's this? I found something.
This grave marker is old. Whatever name was once carved upon it is no longer legible.
My hero,
A sense of urgency from deep within you quickens your heart and hardens your gut. Your god wants you to know that this sorcerer can help you on your mission. She can help you to become more powerful.
What news of Gwydion Rince? Have you found him?
She arches what would be an eyebrow, if lizards had eyebrows.
Little good. I went to Paradise Downs to teach a young sorcerer, Gwydion, but the Magisters came for us. We fought them off, and our source drew Voidwoken. You may blame the Magisters for the horror. Responsible? No, I have regrets. If the Magisters had not come, it would have not happened. It is not our fault that our talents draw the void. We are not the problem. We are the hope. I was on my way to where I thought that I might find a friend, of whom I'll say no more. The Magisters trapped me, and it appears I did find a friend. Just not the one I'd expected. My crowning glory, and the millstone around my neck. Yes, I made the bomb. I served Lucian as best I could. I gave him what he asked. Would I do it again? No, I would not. Such a talented Gwydion fear.
The spirit of a matronly woman stands before you. She shakes her head as she soundlessly argues with someone unseen. A faint sound catches your ear, the rasp of metal upon leather, a sword unsheathed. The spirit's eyes bulge with panic. She raises her arms protectively. An unseen blade cuts through the air with a whistle. The spirit collapses backwards, a silver gash opening the full width of her torso. The woman's spirit lies still on the ground, mirroring the pose of her mortal remains.
More slaughter. Killed by Voidwoken, who were killed in turn themselves.
The spirit of a dwarf woman stares despondently at her body and those of her loved ones.
A word of the wise, friend. Never help a sorcerer. They'll only bring death in their wake. No, not me. It was my bloody neighbours. Soft darts and softer wits, the lot of them. I did the right thing. Let the Magisters know what was going on. But when they came for him, he conjured up all these monsters. The Magisters were too busy helping themselves to save me and my own. Murdering sorcerer filth.
The stench of dead Voidwoken assails you. The thought occurs, sorcerers caused this.
Source may have caused this, but only Source can set it right. The Magisters are blind to its light.
Source can be used for good or ill. That's what the Magisters need to learn.
Source is like life, a twin of death. The sooner the Magisters accept this, the better.
spirale of vines snakes upward from the corpse. After a moment, you realize the gruesome truth. They're not entangling the corpse, but bursting from it. The vines have split the corpse's chest with incredible force. Thin roots wriggle from limbs and nail beds, anchoring it to the ground. The vines encircle a rough depression, as if something held there was violently torn free.
Sorcerer, no harm will come to you.
The spirit stares down at his own corpse, a bemused look upon his face. He turns to you, so fast you don't see the movement. His eyes look blank, as if the void has touched them. He tries to speak, but lacks the strength to do more than croak 2 words.
The black. The black. The black.
He gives you a blank look. Then he raises his hands as if holding a crossbow, points it at you, and pulls the trigger. A mirthless smile spreads across his face, but it does not reach his eyes. He turns towards you. Then he breathes deeply through his nose, his tongue extended, as if he were tasting the air.
Since when does rain hire mercenaries? The sorcerer is trapped in the cellar beneath the house. He's dropped one magister, but he won't drop another. We don't need you, Merc. Seen a wound before, have you, Merc? That blade was touched with sauce. Kilgallion suffered before he died. Between you and me, he went a little mad. That was no ordinary blade. That was a sorcerer's weapon. Now, why exactly would I do that?
He leans in close, opens his mouth, sticks out his tongue to taste the air, and whispers back,
Oh, you smell bad, Merc. But it's all yours. If you ask me, the sorcerer's already dead. But go ahead, you be my guest. First, you'll have to put the fire out, at least enough to reach the cellar hatch. Stand back, lads. The Merc's here's gonna show us how it's done. He's gonna bring the sorcerer out unharmed. Because between you and me, if he comes out here armed, we'll kill him on the spot.
The thought occurs. The Magisters have strayed from the path of Lucian.
The louder people shout in a god's name, the duller becomes their understanding of its message. Lucian would be appalled.
Were they ever on it?
Wolves in sheep's clothing. That's all these Magisters are. We've seen it proven time and again.
He drapes one hand on the hilt of his short sword and gives you a tired look. A look that says, try me.
Stand back there.
The man brandishes a sword, ready to fight. A curious weapon, simple but weighty. It seems out of place in the hands of a simple worker, if that's what he is. You have your doubts, for the sword exudes an evil power.
back, Magister, or I'll cut your guts for ribbons like I did the last fella. Like I don't know that? They think I'm a sorcerer. They're wrong. Unarmed. Let me tell you something. I fought in the Great War. I took this weapon from a Black Ring Scout I killed with my own bare hands. Then I came home to work, and work I did. And what was my reward? This is my reward. My house burned down. My neighbors killed, and by Magisters. One of whom I killed. And you would have me go out there, unarmed. All right. I'll go unarmed, on your word.
He lays the sword against the wall. With a flourish, he picks the sword back up and spins it towards you, hilt first. It's a simple weapon, well made and well maintained. It's clean, but it feels tainted.
Best place for it. Shall we go? Fair enough. I guess I'll see you outside. Or I'll see you in hell.
He gives you a stiff salute, then climbs the ladder to face his destiny.
My, you did it, Merc. You brought us the sorcerer. And, oh, does he stink.
I ain't no sorcerer.
Time to die, sorcerer.
But you said...
It doesn't matter what she said. I am the authority here. I am the Magister Inquisitor, and I am charged with ending sorcerers. Kilgallion lies dead by your hand, and you stinking sorcerer, will join him.
Little help here! You goddamn son of a... You tricked me!
Never trust a merc, sorcerer. They'll tell you lies, then leave before the fighting starts. Now, time to die.
gives you a long, hard...
A job well done, Merc, I'm sure you'll agree. You're Raymond's, Merc, not mine. Ask him for your pay and see what he says.
He gives you a blank look.
You tell me where Hanag is, and I call off your family's execution. Don't toy with me, sorcerer. You know where your mistress is, and I know you know it, so talk.
I don't know where Hanag's gone. I'd tell you if I did. I swear on my father's grave.
Oh, he swears. Did you hear that, everyone? He swears. Why, that's almost as good as a pinky promise.
The White Magister swiftly pivots towards you and draws his blade.
Did you come for the show, elf? Good timing. The interrogation scene is over, so we're almost at the climax.
He chuckles and pokes the inside of his cheek with his tongue.
The Hammer herself sent you, did she? Well, you'll just have to report back to her with the truth. Why? This here sorcerer died in a void-woken attack. Alas, there was nothing we could do.
The sorcerer fidgets, and you notice a thin dagger resting in his palm. He slices away a bit of rope, then looks at you, eyebrows raised. The White Magister turns to the sorcerer and shouts loudly enough for the entire valley to hear.
Where's Hanag, half-wit?
I'm telling you, I don't.
The Magister silences the prisoner, turns to you, and holds out his hands as if to say, well, I tried my best. The hanging sorcerer winks at you and cuts through another strand of rope.
Well, she...
His eyes narrow.
What are you playing at?
The White Magister spins on his heels, just as the hanging sorcerer breaks free of his bond.
A plot twist. I love it. Keeps things interesting.
Damn you. Damn all of you.
Sorcerer on the loose! Contain him!
Godwoken, the void seeks you.
Finally.
Greet the Reaper for me. I'm ready.
Greet the Reaper for me.
The White Magister swiftly...
Did you come for the show, elf? Good timing. The interrogation scene is over, so we're almost at...
He chuckles and pokes the inside of his cheek with his tongue.
Well, I was just about to show this sorcerer here what happens to traitors to the divine cause. Make yourself comfortable. First-rate entertainment, this is.
The sorcerer fidgets, and you notice a thin dagger resting in his palm. He slices away a bit of rope, then looks at you, eyebrows raised.
Godwoken.
A shocked awareness spreads across his face, and he lunges towards you, just as the hanging sorcerer breaks free of his bond.
Damn you. Damn all of you.
I ain't no time to... But you said...
It doesn't.
Little help here! He got...
Never...
Yeah!